Elsewhere at a NORAD radar post, the military signals people are tracking an unknown aircraft that crashed in Wisconsin.
This is some real, like, computers. Like, this is some, like, serious 90s computer graphics.
That's right. Yeah, you get this little triangle, like, flying like crazy. They're like, nothing on Earth moves like that, sir.
Also, I will add that this cold open, the dialogue in this cold open, involves a lot of words that I'm going to say are unfriendly to the Canadian accent. They may as well just been up there and be like, oh, man. My dad's going to be so mad.
So sorry.
The fuss is about taking our citizens. It's about not censoring our art. It's about what's so goddamn funny?
Nothing. Could you tell us again what your argument is all about?
This is not about diplomacy. This is about dignity. This is about respect. This is about realizing that humor is... You guys are dicks. Release Terrence and Phillip, or we'll give you something to cry about.
So they're about to report a UFO when the commanding officer tells him to report a meteor crash instead. And then he sneaks off to report a fallen angel and does some military jargon that sounds like they're going to recover whatever crashed.
And this guy, this military general, he is swinging for the fences with his face work. His eyebrows are like overtime.
He looks like he is on the fucking, like, this guy has a bleeding ulcer all the goddamn time and like indigestion. He just has this look that he is just constantly in physical pain.
Yeah.
Back in the woods, the cop is being stalked by something unseen that creeps up on him like an Evil Dead handheld shot.
Well, it's unseen in this episode. It is definitely seen by you if you've watched Predator 1 or 2.
There's a burst of light, some close-ups of his pained expression, and then it's suggested that he died. So at a nearby motel, Agent Mulder watches a news report of a toxic spill caused by a train crash. He flashes back to a meeting with Deep Throat, who explains that the government is undergoing a crash retrieval that's all headed up by Colonel Calvin Henderson, who's been spearheading UFO crash retrievals since the 70s.
I think I like this guy as Deep Throat versus the guy who replaces him.
Oh, X.
Yeah. I prefer... Well, not in this episode. We'll get to that later, but I do like this person because the one who replaces him is so serious and like gruff, and it's like, dude, you don't have to do this.
Oh, yeah, that actor is so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this dude.
I like this guy also. So he has to hurry because the crew is really good at what they do. They'll be out with all the goods in 24 hours. So he runs off to Wisconsin on his own, hiking through the woods and coming up on a laser fence.
Yeah, what is it? What is this Resident Evil 1980s mad scientist slayer setup?
I know. I saw the laser fence and I'm like, that's not a thing.
What is that? And also, it looks like it's guarding just one plot of like, it's like a garden.
Oh yeah. You must not go into Raccoon City.
Like, these are my cabbages and carrots. Your cabbages and carrots are over there. These ones are mine. Mine are the ones in the lasers. Those ones are yours. Get away.
So from the cover of the woods, he watches the military crew doing their thing. He catches a ride into the cordoned off area on the underside of a military truck.
Okay.
And waits until...
This is insane. Because Mulder's Mission Impossible infiltration of this camp is... At no point have we been given to understand that Mulder has these types of skills. He was a psychologist?
Yeah.
Maybe? I think we've abandoned that at this point, but like... He is creeping around here like James fucking Bond and nobody seems to notice him at all.
Oh, yeah. He is one. You would think he had like special forces training or something like that.
I don't know where this is coming, but his hair is bouncy. It's voluminous. I love it. It's fine. It's great.
That's the thing. He's a handsome man, isn't he?
He is. He's a handsome man. And he's charming as all get out.
Yeah. So, yeah, from the cover of the woods, he watches the military crew doing their thing. Like I said, gets it under a truck. When he comes to the staging area, he looks over the ridge to see men in thermal suits cooling something large concealed under a tarp. Its shape suggests a UFO. Doesn't get far, though, because he's caught by a guard and dragged in for questioning.
Finally, after like 25 minutes, someone's like, hey, who's that guy? Does he work here? Sir, do you work here?
Did you see his hair?
They were just like, I thought he worked here. His hair is so bouncy.
Clearly does not work here. Did you see his hair?
It's so shiny.
So, Colonel Henderson sees him personally, clinging to his story about a toxic spill, makes veiled threats, and then leaves.
And this is the Mulder I love, where he's sassy, he's suspicious. A lot of words that begin with S.
So the soldiers throw Mulder into a fenced-in holding facility where he meets a long-haired weirdo who's also in holding.
Now, this guy who plays Max Fennig, I don't remember his name. The Max Fennig character is a very endearing character.
Oh, for 100%.
Like you're immediately like, I love this guy. I hope nothing bad happens to him. But he's also just a really good actor and super Canadian. He
is. He is so perfect for this show too.
They liked him so much they tried to find another role for him and just couldn't really fit him in elsewhere.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But the casting director loved him. She was like, he's my greatest find ever.
And like I've spent some time among these people, and he is so fucking authentic.
He does feel authentic because the thing about conspiracy weirdos, QAnon notwithstanding, is that they're really just like people who are super into a hobby. Their hobby just has to be it happens to be a little bit batshit.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm endeared by the fact that you like something so much that you want me to like it too.
Right.
Instead of being like, aliens stole my blood, raped my child, I gotta kill everybody.
Yeah. When I used to lift at this gym, and I had a t-shirt from the Exeter UFO Festival.
That's the grossest thing you've ever said.
What
I used to lift at this gym.
Okay.
God damn.
Yeah. So I was lifting, wearing my Exeter UFO Festival
just me
t-shirt.
and my bros, this is every day at 4.
It was leg day. And I'm wearing the shirt, and this guy in an identical t-shirt comes over and just like fires up a conversation. And like off the bat, I saw him coming at me, and I was like, oh shit, this guy wants to talk about UFOs. And he became like a constant presence, and he was a total fucking weirdo, but he was very friendly and he was very pleasant.
The downside though, sometimes is like, they don't quite know when to turn it off.
That is precisely the problem. Is like, it's like, listen, dude.
Sometimes people don't want to talk about aliens. Sometimes they want to talk about Metallica or some shit. I don't know.
He threw some shit at me that was some of the most fascinating stuff I've ever heard. Like sightings and weird cryptids and stuff and like high strangeness. Just like he was speaking my language. But sometimes he would come over and it's just like, oh, look, man, I just want to lift some fucking weights and go home.
I don't know, man. I'm reading Toni Morrison right now. It's probably not what you're into. I just want to talk about that though.
It'd be like, no, you must read this Peter Levenda book.
You mustn't.
Actually, you should. Peter Levenda's Dark Forces will fucking make you as paranoid as is possible.
Also read Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yeah. Max wants to know if Mulder is MUFON or Q4, or maybe he's part of that new group, Psychop.
And first of all, Psychop is not new, Max Fennig. MUFON will come back much later.
Well, because MUFON, even if you are even a little bit aware of like UFOs, you've probably heard of MUFON.
But they'll become a big after Scully gets her implant, which I think is season 4, maybe. I think it's about season 4. They will become a big part of the larger story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like they're bringing us back to be like, there are other groups and we're going to introduce them later.
Yeah. MUFON.
Not
And
they're
all real. MUFON's real. Q4 was real. Psychop is real. Max Fennig.
Psychop is not crazy people though.
No, that's the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry.
Yes.
They were.
I don't know why they changed their name. The other one was just perfectly good.
But yeah, what is it? Max got a t-shirt or a cap that says NICAP. They were another group. MUFON is like the one that I believe are still around. I'm not sure about these other ones. But he wants to. He's asking Mulder and he doesn't answer. And he wants to know what Mulder saw. So
it's great. They're basically leading us to be like I wonder if they did some sort of like a audience test of this. and we're like, they seem to like this kind of goofy, endearing guy. Because
because when
eventually they're going to give us 4 goofy, endearing guys.
Well, the lone gunmen, when they come out, are basically 3. This dude is split into 3 characters.
Mm-hmm.
You've been listening to a sample of our Patreon exclusive podcast, Do You Think I'm Spooky? For access to all our past premium episodes, go to patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod, where you can subscribe for $5 a month. Your support also gets you access to Radio Free Haddonfield, my bi-weekly DJ show for the weeks when Do You Think I'm Spooky is off. That's an extra episode of content on the weekly from your favorite podcast. We love and appreciate every one of our listeners, and your support makes this whole enterprise worthwhile. Once again, that's patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. Sign up for the $5 tier today.